Serving tray. Last tutorial, let's put some splines in. And splines are basically are a little piece of wood that reinforce the joints. So to start off with, something completely different. We're going to hide the bottom, and we are going to do an offset, what's called an offset plane. All right. And what I'm going to do is click this plane, and I'm going to come up 5/8 of an inch. Right. And so that's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sketch on that new plane. And to see what I'm doing, I need to project things. So I'm going to go to project down here, or the letter P. Zoom in, and all I need to do really right now is pick these two lines. Okay, and I'm also going to pick this line here. Okay, and click finish, or OK. Now, I'm going to draw a couple lines here. And I'm going to draw them offset. And the reason I'm drawing them offset is because later on, you need to actually be able to see that the spline is there. And when you have two materials touching each other, it doesn't show clearly. So I've drawn two lines. The lines are going to be basically an inch long, or sorry, 0.9 of an inch long. That one's that one. This one here, 0.9, right? 0.9. And then the distance between here and here, I'm going to leave it as 0.1. It's a small amount. Okay, so 0.01. But when you see it later, you'll be able to see the splines because they or protrude past. That's 0.1001 again, past the actual material or the outside pieces. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a line from here to here to make a triangle. Okay, so there's that. Now from here, I'm going to mirror. Right, so I click on mirror. I pick the points that I want, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I find a mirror line, which right now, the only mirror line, I go select mirror line, and I pick that one, and I click on OK. So now you look at it, there's that one up there. So now along here, I'm just going to put a quick line. Let's find center, right? There's midpoint. Okay, there's a line. So now same thing, I go back and I pick mirror, and I pick these ones. Whoops, hang on a second, mirror. And I'm going to select my lines, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to select these ones down here, scroll in, 1, 2, and 3. And scroll across, and I'm going to scroll out a bit so you can see this. I'm actually going to hide this as well. Okay, I select my mirror line. There it is over there, and there it is up top there. And I click on OK. So there's my pieces. I'm going to hit finish sketch. Right, they're in there. To be able to extrude, I'm just going to hide everything. Click on extrude. There's my first one, my second one, right, third and fourth, that one. And it's 1/8 of an inch, because that's how thick mine are going to be, because I have a saw blade is going to cut them. And instead of new body, we're going to do new component, and click on OK. So there's the 4 of them, and when I turn everything else on, right, we now have our splines. All right. So now what do we do? Well, I want to put one more set of splines. So again, I'm just going to turn everything off because it makes it easier. Okay, I'm going to take my component, right mouse click, and I'm actually going to rename this right now. I'm going to call it splines. Okay, so splines, lower. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to paste. And I'm just going to move them up. I don't know, let's move them up an inch. And click on OK. So now we turn everything back on. And what do you have? You have your splines now, right, in different places. Now, I don't like where those ones are. So what do? Well, I can just go into this one, right? And my last thing, the copy paste, right? Double click it. Oops, get in there, right? And I can basically move them, right? And my splines, take my splines, let me cancel this out. Take my splines, right mouse click, I can go move, and I can just move them back down a tiny bit, click on OK, and now you can see they're moved where I want them to be, right? So that kind of concludes things. The only thing I hadn't done in previous tutorial is go and round things. So we can just round everything now. right? Round all my edges over, and you just gotta make sure you pick them all. And sometimes it's hard to pick them all, right? Because you don't know which ones you're picking, right? And I keep picking them, all my edges, and sometimes you gotta pick little bits, right? And again, I won't do the whole thing, but when I kind of pick that end, oh, you can see I'm missing a piece right there, right? Over here, you pick this one. Wow, I got to pick a lot of different points, don't I? Okay, I'm just going to do this end. I'm not going to do the whole thing. And point, I don't know, 2.5. Okay, and there we go. Okay, that would be my finished product. My splines are in place. I have everything's rounded over. I can look at it. And then again, all it is going out to a drawing, which we kind of did in the last tutorial. So I'm going to stop there. You don't need anything else shown because, basically just did everything, right? Everything's rounded because whatever I do to this one happens to that one. So it's all done. So thanks for watching. Go make a serving tray now.